Our #1 rated prospect in last year's draft, it's safe to say that there were some high expectations for Kayvon Thibodeau's rookie season. A killer on the edge for Oregon, Kayvon would have to wait until week 3 before he could see the field after picking up an injury in preseason, but he still put together a very solid year's worth of tape on what ended up as a playoff caliber defense. Let's dive into his rookie season and see if Kayvon lived up to that promise he showed during his peak years with the Ducks. Let's go. As some of you may remember from our previous video on the Giants, this defense under the tutelage of Don Martindale is a blitz-heavy hybrid scheme that loves to throw players at the offense and disrupt the backfield. In Kayvon Thibodeau's case, he was utilized on both sides of the defensive line at D-end, rushing quarterbacks and laying out ball carriers who came his way. In this Martindale scheme, where he truly excelled on tape was against the run. Thibodeau's high IQ, along with a break-the-backfield mentality defense, had him quite literally jumping out on film. Here against the Colts, he moves with no regard for the players obstructing his path. The Colts try to occupy him with both tight ends on the counterplay, but Kayvon is ready for it. He drives back 81 with an arm extension, and his get-off is too quick for the other tight end to get anywhere near him, hunting down the running back for an easy solo tackle for loss. Unbothered. Washington had some creative run design last year, but against a Martindale blitz and a smart player like Kayvon, this can be a recipe for disaster. The Commanders have one tight end in motion and will first fake the toss to the running back as if he's got a lead blocker, only to hand it off to Curtis Samuel on the condensed formation on the inside trap play. Kayvon isn't fooled by any of the orchestrated motion and eradicates the receiver attempting to escape the backfield. Trying to block him with misdirection is not gonna work. Ouch. And it ain't just breaking the interior. Thibodeau excels when defending the edge too. With the stretch run called and coming to his side of the field, Kayvon makes sure to win the initial punch and then plant and drive those feet fast, ripping through the block and diving into Dalvin Cook before he can escape to the second level. And more defending the edge, this time in space, for what might be one of the best reps of the year. Lined up at left end, Thibodeau must analyze the option from the menace that is Lamar Jackson, and he quickly reads the ball as handed off to Dobbins. Watch him still manage to get outside contain despite playing the read, forcing the run back inside. Then he possesses the fluidity and athleticism to jump back inside, wrap up, and finish with force. That change of direction and reading makes this an all-pro level rep. Amazing stuff from the rookie. Oh, and back when Aaron Rodgers was still pretending to give a fuck, Kayvon plays another to perfection. They try to get him to bite backside again with the jet motion, but Thibodeau isn't fooled, maintaining backside integrity just in case they do, before quickly closing to the back with a great angle of pursuit and finishing with a form tackle. He sees you. This time, the Commanders are actually going to hand it to the jet sweep that's been threatened so often, but Thibodeau's ready for that too. They put a tight end on him, thinking that'll be enough to get Curtis Samuel to the edge. But Thibodeau just throws number 82 straight back into the path of the ball carrier, causing a collision. He then quickly escapes his block and jumps to wrap this up. Just too damn dominant. And this might be the most agile play of them all. The screen game is truly an extension of the run. And here, the Packers are running a little smoke screen, trying to get the ball in the hands of Dobbs quickly. The tackle would take a kick step to try to bait Kayvon into rushing, before immediately breaking wide to take out a corner. And watch Thibodeau react, pivoting on the spot in an instant and immediately tracking down the wideout. Bruh moves like a damn ballerina. The run play is already top-notch, but when it comes to rushing the passer, there's flashes. But his game still needs some work. His burst and agility are evident throughout, and if he has Wink as his DC for a while, he's going to get a lot of chances like this. With the corner blitzing, Thibodeau will attack the B-gap and completely loses number 73, flashing across his face in an instant and demolishes Dak Prescott, who's trying to pick up the bobbled snap. How he's able to get this ball downfield and complete, I really, truly, honestly do not know. And although he doesn't get the sack here on the inside rush, he shows good power to walk back his man, then gets his hands up to deflect Rodgers' pass attempt, knocking this incomplete on the second to last play of the game. And he has a knack for those big moments too, here showing great moves and football IQ on this strip sack of Lamar Jackson. Bursting from the left end position, Thibodeau engages hard in the hand fight, using that momentum to bench away his man and get wide. The tackle quickly recovers, but Kayvon swats away a recovery attempt to get through to the scanning Jackson. But now behind him and out of range for a tackle, he leaps and pokes the ball loose to cause a fumble. And then, the IQ kicks up another gear, having the football savviness to go after Lamar, and deny the recovery, guaranteeing the most elusive man on the field does not get a chance, and his teammates rally for the recovery. That's a smart-ass play from the rookie. The best sack of them all, though, comes from this game against the Washington Commanders, where Kayvon took over in the first half. With an empty backfield, the Commanders were automatically in a vulnerable position, letting this defense know it was a pass and pin their ears back. The Giants only rushed 4 this time, but it doesn't matter because Thibodeau does it all on his own. Ferociously attacking from the right edge this time, he simply shoves aside number 72, swiping away the recovery attempt before knocking Taylor Heineke into another dimension. There's no holding on to that ball, and Kayvon is right there for the recovery too, leading to a scoop and score and the first touchdown of his young career. That's the type of play you want from your top defensive rookie. Eager to hit and make a play, Kayvon doesn't play with quite the same level of discipline when rushing, and this is an area he'll need to improve in. They called roughing the passer on this next one, but let's be real, this would have never been called back in the 2000s. Kayvon bursts off the line and manages to get a hand on this for a tip pass, but can't manage to stop himself before knocking over Fields, resulting in a flag. Now, this might be soft, but 2 steps and they're going to call you in this league, man. You got to be smarter. And on this now infamous play against the Colts, Kayvon is again somehow left unblocked. With the free lane to Nick Foles ahead of him, Kayvon is practically salivating as he approaches. He lights up Foles with such ferocity that the man is left writhing in pain as Thibodeau hits snow angels next to him in the turf. Honestly, this shit is not good to see. It's poor optics, but just in general, celebrating an injury is always poor taste and extremely stupid in a sport this dangerous. Because you're going to find yourself in a similar position at some point in your career, and you're going to receive very little sympathy as a result. Thibodeau might not think he needs people's sympathy, but his personality has already rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and it will lead to people having some misconceptions about his game. The biggest one being that he doesn't hustle. If our audience remembers well, one of the biggest criticisms of Kayvon Thibodeau coming out of college was his supposed lack of hustle and lack of effort when playing the game of football relative to his contemporaries. We debunked that bullshit narrative then, and if you don't mind, allow me to debunk that nonsense again at the professional level. This is a player with a high motor. Against the Vikings, Thibodeau shows hustle by coming from the complete opposite side of the field and tipping an attempt from Kirk Cousins, forcing an incompletion. You see how much distance he covered on this play? Look like a low-effort player to you? Or how about here against the dual threat that is Justin Fields, showing incredible pursuit to not only chase the quarterback on the rollout after initially rushing inside, but to get the proper angle on his pursuit, cutting off the available space and preventing a big scramble that Fields has shown us he's capable of. Good play. In his takeover game against the Commanders, he was quite literally all over the field. He's flying into the backfield when he sees the handoff, but then when the quarterback tucks it, he doesn't give up, chasing this all the way to the sideline and refusing to not be a part of the play. Now that's hustle. And once more against the Vikings, they're going to run a tight end screen here, and Kayvon has to quickly change pursuit targets from QB to tight end, and then manages to be the first person to make contact with the ball carrier, despite being in the backfield just 2 seconds earlier. How'd he get there before the rest of the defenders considering where he was at? Because he wanted it. Now, while Thibodeau shows great hustle and glimpses of being a strong pass rusher, this is certainly where his game needs the most improvement. He needs to add more muscle and improve his core strength because right now, Kayvon struggles to get past some of the stronger, more veteran tackles out there, struggling with leverage height engagement and honestly, just getting out-strengthened. He struggled at Oregon with disengagement, and this has continued over to the NFL where his approach into pass rushing sets is just too high, allowing offensive linemen to get into his chest plate and win reps easily. He's got to improve the height of his initial engagements, as well as continue to improve that core strength if he wants his name called amongst the league's top pass rushers. Kayvon had low sack numbers for somebody who was labeled as a premier pass rusher, but made up for that considerably with his fantastic work against the run. There were many instances on tape where he was just inches away from completing a sack or just barely didn't make it in time before the quarterback could release the ball. So I expect that to change as he grows more into his game and learns more from his coaches. He's only a rookie after all. There are certainly enough encouraging signs for Giants fans to believe he will grow into the anchor of their defense, but he's got to improve his pass rushing power and leverage if he wants to be considered amongst the elites. And when he gets there, believe you me, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Thanks for watching. We've dropped one other rookie report this offseason and have a few more to come, so don't forget to subscribe and follow us over on Patreon for all of our college breakdowns. Thank you and take care.